Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Honestly Not Serious. I've got a lot of really great content for you all today. From inside Taylor Swift's wedding to Jack Antonoff and Margaret Qualley splitting up, all of that and more. So grab some coffee cake. It's time to start your day with Jay. You guys, what a week it has been for pop culture and celebrity news. But something that's unrelated is that Mexico is out of the World Cup, and I think USA is too. So I don't know, man. Sunday night, I was watching the game and I was just feeling so frustrated, and I felt so validated when I went online because in the last 20 minutes of the Mexico versus England game, it was like they were just all exhausted, which I don't blame them. It's crazy, like running around on a soccer field for such a long time. But I was getting so disappointed. I just like wanted to yell at them to motivate them because this is a huge opportunity. It's the World Cup and it means so much to all of the people of Mexico. But you know what? I think it's really cool that Mexico made it this far. I was so excited. Like, Grayson and I had Mexican food that night and we were just in bed watching it. And I was up and around, just like yelling at the TV. Obviously, like I said, they're out. So it's like, obviously, root for USA. They're out too. So I don't care anymore about the World Cup. I'm getting mad. I'm doing my setup a little bit differently if everything will allow. I've got my iPad in front of me to read. And also, I forgot to mention, I did not have a podcast last week or yesterday. I have not been feeling well. And today I'm feeling great. I've had like a migraine. It's been feeling like more of like a sinus thing, you know? I feel like my sicknesses are once in the summer, once really long in the winter, and that's kind of it. But the winter one is really hard. But this one's like kind of like a cute little, like a little peck on the cheek, like, oh, don't forget your immune system sucks. So I'm still a little congested, but I was really congested, lots of pressure on my sinuses. It was like so painful. I wasn't really sure like what happened. Like at first it was like, did I sleep wrong? And then it was like, oh no, I'm sick with this congestion and sinus pressure. Um, yeah, and it was a really confusing time and I felt really lethargic, but I'm feeling a lot better. The hardest thing was that it was giving me this like sinus pressure, like headache slash migraine. And so to film with my lights, I even thought like maybe I should do like no audio. Maybe I'll do that next time, but I felt so crappy. But I'm grateful to be here. So much has happened since I last podcasted, which was Thursday of last week. And since then, we have gotten Taylor Swift's wedding and all the information that we know from that. I think I was a doubter that it would be on 4th of July weekend. Taylor Swift loves that holiday, so I can really see where she was going with that. But I don't know. I just really wasn't buying the whole Madison Square Garden thing. Like, I see now it makes sense because people were like the mayor was like, yeah, it's true. And we were just hearing more whispers about the permits around New York City. So it was adding up. But like, as a longtime Taylor fan, I'm genuinely shocked she didn't get married at like a secret garden or something more idyllic. Like literally Madison. But it is an event place. So I don't know what it looked like, but I'm sure that she made it look really ethereal and beautiful on the inside because that's like who she is. I'm going to talk about Taylor Swift a little bit more in a minute, but the first story that we have is Margaret Qualley and Jack Antonoff splitting after 3 years of marriage. So sad. TMZ reports Margaret Qualley and Jack Antonoff splitsville after 3 years of marriage. It makes me sad. Although it does have this little update in here that says that Jack Antonoff was spotted wearing his wedding ring. And I'm no expert in marriages and divorces, but I do think that there's always one person who initiates it and is just like so excited to take their ring off. And then there's another person who is maybe a little bit slower. I don't want to say denial. I was thinking that in my head, but maybe they're not as quick because they didn't initiate it. You know what I mean? Or they like the bling. Margaret Qualley and Jack Antonoff have separated after 3 years of marriage, according to a new report. The high-profile couple called it quits after hitting a rough patch, people reported. It seems pretty clear now that this is why Margaret was MIA from Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding, because TMZ learned she was not filming any project last weekend. That was what people were saying. People were saying Margaret's not there with Jack to support Taylor because she's got a project. Now we know it's not true. Sources with knowledge tell us production on King Snake, a supernatural horror film starring wrapped in June. And we hear filming on her next project, a remake of the 1981 supernatural thriller Possession, hasn't begun yet. As we previously reported, rumors really started to swirl after MQ snubbed her wedding day photos. Margaret Qualley, that's MQ, snubbed her wedding day photos from her social media profile on top of missing the event. As recently as February, Margaret Qualley and Jack Antonoff were going strong, collaborating on a music video for his band Bleachers, ironically titled You and Forever. Well, that's sad. Margaret and Jack said I do in 2023 in front of star-studded crowd featuring Taylor Swift, Lana Del Rey, Channing Tatum, Zoe Kravitz, Cara Delevingne, and of course Margaret's mom, Andie MacDowell, just to name a few. Those were big fews. Okay, so we don't know a lot about this, but we did know that this past weekend for Taylor Swift's wedding, Jack was alone. He was like, a lot of the celebrities that you found out were at the wedding were on the streets of New York, just like crossing several streets because Taylor and Travis closed down a lot of streets. But he was like crossing a street to go to the venue by himself. And obviously you could think like maybe Margaret came in a different car, but it's kind of like when you're married, like why would you do that? Unless like she was doing something else in New York. This stinks. I really didn't like this. I feel like, well, Jack and Taylor collaborate on music quite a bit for a few of her albums. And whenever there's like an award show, I think it's kind of cute that Margaret Qualley and Taylor Swift are always like dancing together. And then there's Jack, like they try to make him dance a little bit, but are we not going to get that anymore? Like, no, because if she didn't go to the wedding, Margaret and Taylor are probably not friends anymore. Gosh, when there's like a split in a relationship, no matter what it is, it's like, which friend do you choose? And it makes sense that Taylor would choose Jack because they're longtime collaborators. I think they even collaborated on I Knew You, which was the song that came out for Toy Story. So that's extremely recent. And we all know that that happened last minute too, because it was the end credit song. I don't know. This stinks. 3 years. I'm really sad for both of them. I think that's so tough. And as someone who just got married themselves, like that really hurts my heart. They just got married super recently and they're around my age too. Oh, I hate that. I guess we'll find out more, but that's an interesting update that Jack was wearing his ring. I don't really think it means a lot. I feel like this is true if all these outlets are reporting on it and they have not said anything yet. There's like no joint statement to say otherwise, but man, Margaret's career lately, I feel like she is becoming more of like an it girl and people are realizing that she's got this like quirky, sexy personality. She's like one of those. I literally don't even know who to place to, but she's so unique. Like I saw her on Jimmy Fallon and she was really showing her personality. She's a Nepo baby, so people can obviously be like, oh, that's Andie MacDowell's daughter. But she's more than that. Like she's actually proving herself to be a pretty big actress. And I'm pretty sure she's in that crew of people who were in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and then their careers have blown up. Like there's Sydney Sweeney, Austin Butler. Oh my gosh, who else? Oh, okay. I looked it up. Maya Hawke, Margaret Qualley, Rumor Willis, and then Sydney Sweeney, Austin Butler, Harley Quinn Smith, Victoria Pedretti. Oh, The Haunting of Hill House girl. That's so interesting. Okay, yeah, but all those people have really like made it. So, yeah. Okay, our next story, we're going to talk about the Emmy Awards. The Emmy nominees came out today. So, the New York Times is posting their completed list, and we'll go over some of these. Nominees for the 2026 Emmy Awards were announced on Wednesday morning. Widow's Bay, the new horror comedy series for Apple TV, earned 19 nominations. Haven't watched it yet. Didn't even know it existed. I just realized I don't even have Apple TV. That's why. HBO Max's Emmy's Darling Hacks picked up 24 nods for its final season. And the Emmys mainstay in Abbott Elementary on ABC nabbed 6. For drama, last year's surprise favorite, HBO Max's The Pitt, scored 25 Emmy nominations for its second season, the most of any series, and almost twice what it earned in its first season. Dancing with the Stars earned its first nomination in 10 years. I did hear, though, that it was snubbed for choreography. I have some thoughts on that one. And Bravo's buzzy reality show Summer House landed its first nomination. Well, that makes a lot of sense considering this whole season was a crap ton of drama. The awards ceremony is planned for, okay. Host is Mariska Hargitay. I really love when we pick comedians for the host, like Nikki Glazer. Gotta keep picking her. She's so good. Okay, so best drama, we've got The Diplomat, The Gilded Age, A Night of Seven Kingdoms, Paradise, The Pit, Pluribus, Slow Horses, Your Friends and Neighbors. I've only ever watched The Pit and Paradise, so I'm gonna be biased on this one. And I say The Pit, you better win. It's so good. I love it. Okay, so for comedy, Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks, Margot's Got Money Troubles, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders, Shrinking, and Widow's Bay. Dang, a lot of these are Apple TV. Is that something I need to get? I feel like Only Murders is always nominated and doesn't always win. Abbott Elementary, I love that. And again, bias. Best limited series, All Her Fault, The Beast and Me, Beef, DTF, St. Louis, Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr., and Carolyn Bessette. I didn't watch it. I have not carved out time to watch it. I obviously hear it's really good. So I will say All Her Fault has it for me because I watched that one and it was pretty good. Best Actress, Carrie Coon, Chase Infinity, Carrie Russell, Ray Seahorn, and Zendaya in Euphoria. Oh, Zendaya. Get it, girl. Carrie Coon's really good. Never watched The Gilded Age, but I watched her in White Lotus. Okay, let's go Zendaya. Best Actress Drama, Sterling K. Brown in Paradise. I love him. I love anything he's in. He's got the best magnetic personality. I love him in interviews. Gary Oldman, Slow Horses, Mark Ruffalo, Task, Rufus Sewell, The Diplomat, and Noah Wiley the Pit. Ugh, my bias is Noah Wiley the Pit. He's so good in that. Okay, I'm going to stop after supporting actress and actor, but I've got to say, okay, so supporting actress in a drama, Taylor Dearden for The Pit, Fiona Dorff The Pit, Allison Janney, Catherine Lanaza. Oh my gosh, these are all Pit people. Sepida Moafi, Julianne Nicholson, Carolina Wydra. Okay, so The Pit. Taylor Dearden. Love her. Hope she wins. I think Catherine Lanasa, I think she won last year. So that would be nice. Oh my gosh. Patrick Ball, the one who plays Dr. Langdon, was nominated. That's so exciting. I hope he wins. Wait, who's that? Who's Garen Howell? Okay, so Patrick Ball, The Pit, Sean Hattasey, The Pit. People love him. Garen Howell? I don't know. I gotta look him up. That's Whitaker. I wonder why he was nominated. I'm trying to think like if he had like a really big story this season. I don't know. But those are some people nominated for the Emmys. Coleman Domingo was nominated for Euphoria. Who's Jeff Kober? Oh my gosh. Duke. The guy who played Duke, which was Noah Wiley's character's best friend, Dr. Robbie, his best friend. Oh my gosh. That was a very remarkable performance. I think that's really special that he got nominated. A lot of people I feel like nominated for the first time. Like for sure with confidence I can say Patrick Ball, Dr. Langdon was nominated for the first time. So that's super exciting. Also, something else to note, Elle Fanning and her sister Dakota Fanning were both nominated for Emmys. And I think that's so cute. And I'm sure their parents are like so proud. Wow. Coleman Domingo was nominated for Euphoria, and he was nominated for supporting actor in a comedy for 4 seasons. He is so impressive. That's so cool. I'm excited for the Emmys. Can't wait to watch this one. No. Okay, one last thing. Rob Reiner was nominated for his guest acting appearance in The Bear, and he's dead. So that makes me sad. And then also Connor Story was nominated for his appearance on SNL, and that was like it was genuinely notably one of the best episodes of the season. Like I actually think I might have watched it twice. Like it was really funny, and he's like a very dynamic comedian, like comedy actor. I highly recommend checking that one out. Other than that, these are some shows I really gotta watch. What do we got next? People magazine reports Taylor Swift found happily ever after with Travis Kelce. All the details from the fairy tale wedding, exclusive sources. Ooh, they got married. Oh my gosh. It's so exciting to be a Swiftie right now. It's so exciting. I'm happy for my dear friend, Taylor. Okay, so on a sweltering hot summer day in New York City, an elated couple tied the knot. Very narrative. The glowing bride walked down the aisle to an instrumental version of Taylor Swift's iconic love story and read emotional vows paying tribute to her husband's kind spirit. The groom, beloved for his charismatic and happy to go personality, wore a white tuxedo and asked a friend to officiate his ceremony. It was all accounts a traditional wedding, save for one rather untraditional component. The bride was 14-time Grammy Award winner, Taylor Swift herself. Okay. Yeah. Though Swift has been known for having a group of high profile besties, she and Kelsey skipped a customary bridal party. Instead, the singer's brother, Austin, served as her man of honor, while Kelsey's brother, Jason, was his best man. I think it's really sweet when you have your siblings. I had my siblings, and then me and my husband each had one of our closest friends. Adam Sandler, a childhood hero and recent co star of Kelsey's following the athlete cameo in Happy Gilmore 2, officiated the ceremony. And Kelsey and Swift, both 36, exchanged vows they wrote themselves. Sandler's best advice to newlyweds: keep kissing, according to Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. An insider says the pair spent about 20 minutes each reading their vows and even handed out embroidered handkerchiefs during the ceremony to wipe away any stray tears. That's so sweet. The custom tissues were stitched with a TT interlocking heart logo and a line from Swift's 2014 hit Blank Space, a favorite of Kelsey's, So It's Gonna Be Forever. Oh my gosh. It's funny that Taylor Swift is leaning into her own like Swiftie of it all because I feel like girls in the bridal space, like they do that too, but she's almost doing it a little bit like ironically, you know? I'm pretty sure I played Love Story. I didn't play it, but like I had the violinist play it at my wedding when it was like I'm pretty sure it was one of my aisle songs. I'll have to look back. Oh my gosh, I'm making this about me. I had Love Story and then Beauty and the Beast, Tale as Old as Time, and then Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. Why did I start talking about me? I don't know. In her vows, which attendee George Stephanopoulos described on Good Morning America as real, vulnerable, serious, and silly, Swift praised Kelsey for spending his high school lunch periods sitting with bullied kids and told their friends and family she wished she knew someone like that when she was in high school. Aw. A friend of the couple says Travis was very emotional during the vows, a second source adds. As expected, the bride wore white, so did the groom. Swift's ceremony gown she changed into a second look for the reception, and Kelsey's white tux were both created by Christian Dior Haute Couture and designed by the brand's creative director, Jonathan Anderson, in close collaboration with the couple. She was absolutely glowing and floating around the room, the friend says of Swift, who wore Christian Louboutin heels. Wait, what? Swift wore Christian Louboutin heels. Okay, not to brag, but your girl wore Christian Louboutin heels for my wedding too. That's crazy. I need a photo. I wore the So Kate white heels. Oh, wait, no. I wore the Miss Z white heels. It was so hard to get, and I got them. And I feel like they were like a little big, but they were beautiful and stunning, and they were everything ever. So knowing that Taylor Swift also likely wore white Christian Louboutin heels just did something inside me. Oh my God, that's amazing. This article would be a heck of a lot shorter if they didn't say so many dumb things like Taylor Swift, the album Life of a Showgirl writer. Like, just say Taylor Swift. Okay, anyways, so happy for them. They talk about the guest list a little bit, so let's read that. So the guest list ran the gamut from actors Brad Pitt, Emma Stone, Mariska Hargitay, and Tom Hanks, and NFL stars Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and Patrick Mahomes, to musicians including Sabrina Carpenter, Miranda Lambert, and members of Swift's band and Eras Tour dancers. Yes, I have seen so many things online about people who attended this event. They're not talking about it, but just like photos, like Selena Gomez was obviously there. Oh, I also saw Becca Tilley and her fiance, Haley Kiyoko. They went to, and that's so sweet because Haley was in one of Taylor Swift's music videos for the Lover era. And Becca is like a longtime Swiftie, so she's probably living her dream. But what everyone's talking about is that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were not in attendance. And Kelly Teller, and Miles Teller. And those 6 were thick as thieves last year, like going to Travis's games over the past few years. So awkward, obviously, like a huge falling out. I think what we know from the Blake Lively and Taylor Swift is that she kind of tried to use Taylor's fame and notoriety in the whole Justin Baldoni scandal. Like, she almost tried to use, like, there was a text message that came out being like, "Taylor's one of my dragons. I'm gonna unleash, like, my dragons on you. I'm Khaleesi." And just to, like, threaten and intimidate Justin Baldoni, and I feel like it was getting all so much, and Taylor Swift just, like, kept backing away. I saw some text from Taylor Swift over the internet being like, "I feel like you're different." So, she wasn't invited. She wasn't there. I also did see something saying, like, that Blake Lively had a dress, like, on standby. That literally could be, like, a speculation, but I thought that that was kind of funny. 'Cause it's like, if someone were my best friend, I feel like I would know where I stood with them. You know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy that, like, Blake was hoping she changed her mind. Yeah, all these Hollywood relationships are super weird to me. Kelly Teller, she is I don't think she does anything, she's just Miles Teller's wife, but she's always been kind of weird with, like, posts about Taylor, like, she's, like, super eager to post that she's with Taylor. So maybe something happened there. Maybe Taylor was like, that's a weird friendship, but none of them were invited. The OG Selena Gomez was there. Lena Dunham was there. Oh, and Jack Antonoff was there, and I'm pretty sure they dated. Actually, I did not put that together. Oh, that's so weird. I also thought it was funny that on Ryan Seacrest's morning show, he was saying he was invited, but then he had this, like, last minute obligation and couldn't go. But, like, this is a little niche, but one of his, I don't wanna be like, not his co-hosts, but co-workers on the show, Tanya Rad, she does a podcast with Becca Tilley, and so Becca got to go, and Ryan was invited, and so it must have been, like, really chaotic for her. I haven't listened to their podcast, but I've been seeing, like, little things of that online, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, so many people were invited to this wedding." That is crazy. You know, it's overwhelming to be around that many people, but I think these people are all used to it. Damn, she must have, like, a lot of friends. It's actually, like, kind of, I'm speaking for myself, but, like, when you're planning a wedding and you're thinking who you're going to invite, you obviously only want the people that are supporting you and are, like, actually close in your life there and that mean a lot to you. And then sometimes it's like, I could count those people on, like, 2 hands, and that's it. So, actually trying to make a guest list is, like, awful. It makes you think a lot. Like, either you're someone who has, like, a lot of acquaintances in your life and you don't, or, like, a lot of different friend groups and you don't wanna disappoint people and you want, like, everyone to be included, or you have, like, a few close people and family and it's not, like, a big thing. Mine was the latter. I wouldn't have had it any other way, though, because I swear if there was 20 more people, I would have lost my mind. I would have. It would have been so many people, but it was, like, absolutely perfect. I hope she had a good time, though. She's been waiting for her wedding for, like, ever. Yeah, I hope she had a great time. My next story is such a great story. I cannot contain myself. So, the Jonas Brothers are bringing back a fan favorite era. Nick, Kevin, and Joe announced the Burning Up tour all over again on Instagram, revealing 2 shows at Madison Square Garden in New York City on August 20th and August 21st. The Burning Up tour changed our lives, and we can't wait to relive it with all of you in a place that means so much to us. The brothers wrote in the post, reported by USA Today. I forgot to say that. The tour will give fans the chance to relive some of the Jonas Brothers' biggest hits from their 2008 breakthrough, like Burning Up, SOS, Tonight, When You Look Me in the Eyes, and so many more. You won't want to miss the chance to see the trio take the stage at Madison Square Garden. Oh, wow. Tickets are starting at 222 on August 20th and 258 on August 21st. I don't know, you guys. Well, this makes me so excited as, like, a long time Jonas Brothers fan. I love that album. I really do. Like, When You Look Me in the Eyes, A Little Bit Longer. Those are amazing hits. Burning Up itself. Yeah, it's such a no skip. Oh my God. I won't be there though. There's no way. In New York in August, that's so hot. I don't think I'll be there, but I am excited. And you know what I've been noticing is that they've been doing like a lot of stuff lately. Like they've got their podcasts. Joe's been in like so many commercials. I'm just like curious, like why they're doing a lot. I don't know. There's a couple of things I don't want to ever speculate, but here I am. They could have money problems. That's such an extreme though. Or they could be trying to accumulate so much money that they get to like retire soon. My gosh, they even just had their like hometown tour, which I didn't get to go to, but I saw a lot of it on social media because they had a guest come out each night that was like an oldie, like the Click Five or like All American Rejects. This will be interesting. And another thing that they do is like they say this is 2 nights and then they extend it or something. So I'm curious. I remember they had like a big arena tour that they ended up canceling and then doing their hometown tour. So, oh my gosh, and like, where's their book? Where's their book? Okay. They said they were writing a book. I'm excited for the fans though. I don't think I'll get to be there. I don't think I'm going to go to New York in August. Does anyone listen to their podcast? I have not listened to Hey Jonas yet. I'm pretty sure, but it's like really new still. So maybe on a road trip, I'll listen to all of it. I love doing that. Road trip and a podcast. Our last story is just to talk about Love Island from last night. I haven't recapped it in probably a week, so we've missed a lot. Corbin and Parmita went home. That sucks. I actually I felt like he was going to go home next. And then I kept thinking to myself, like, you guys, like, we can't send him home. He's like the social media soundbite. Like, he's so funny. This is a smoothie. But he's gone. It's so sad. Everyone seemed really sad and like he cried too. So, okay, so season 8, episode 31 happened last night. And there was a couple different themes that were going on. One was Kata's obsession with the situationship. So Kata and Zach announced that they were officially exclusive. And then she told the girls and was like so excited. She was like, they were all telling their news. And then she's like, you guys, I've got something good. Zach and I are exclusive, but Trinity immediately called it a situationship, which she did not like because they refused to use the official boyfriend and girlfriend labels. So you can see Kata the whole episode just absolutely spiraling, being like, why weren't they excited for me? So Kata took this as a massive insult, getting incredibly defensive and projecting a lot of insecurity. Meanwhile, Zach made passive aggressive remarks about other couples rushing into things. And everyone feels that Zach is terrified of commitment and is just trying to manage expectations and life outside of the villa. I really don't see the relationship going anywhere. And I just like a lot of these girls, like things are like, I can just see it on their face or in their gut that they know it too, and they don't want to believe it because they want to believe the person right in front of them. And other people are wrong about their relationship. And so watching that one was particularly hard, especially when Casey made it official boyfriend, girlfriend with TT, who he's only known for like less than a week. So when that happened, everyone was like clapping and all that stuff. And then Zach was like, oh, that's bad timing. And Kata, she don't look like she's having it. So we'll see how that unfolds. There's literally not that many episodes left. So like I said, Casey and TT, he made everyone go on this like scavenger hunt for TT. It was like photos that were in the photo booth in a pan that all led to him being on the dock. And then he, in so many words, proposed to be the girlfriend. So that was cute. Everyone looked excited for him, except Anaya looked a little not excited. And then Kata and Zach kind of looked like they saw a ghost. Melanie and Sincere went to the hideaway. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. I thought that if anyone was going to the hideaway, it'd be Trinity and Bryce. Like they were the only ones at that time that were boyfriend and girlfriend. So I was bummed and it felt like Trinity was the one who instigated it. She was like, Melanie and Sincere. And then everyone started chanting Melanie and Sincere. So viewers and Islanders alike were left baffled when Melanie and Sincere were voted to go to the hideaway, given Melanie had just been visibly upset and crying over Sincere's behavior in the past week of episodes. Watching the village cheer them on in a romantic room felt heavily forced and awkward afterwards to watch. It was weird. I still think it's weird and I'm still annoyed by it, but like thankfully the girls had a challenge ish. They got like a day to themselves. So their time in the hideaway was cut short. Like Sincere woke up like by himself looking around and it was pretty gratifying. Dylan's nonstop whining. He's so annoying this episode. He's so annoying the last episode. I genuinely saw it and everyone still is like hating on Kenzie. And it is such a double standard. If you want to compare Kenzie's moving around and how she moved in the villa to also what Sincere did, everyone let Sincere off the hook, but we're not letting Kenzie off the hook. Flippin' Dylan has to be like, oh, you need to apologize to me for all the things that you did. And it's like, chill. You know, we need to take a page from Carl's handbook on moving forward gracefully. They had a conversation about it. And at that point, you either have to accept it or you have to move on. And Carl accepted it. And they moved on. And him and Anaya had this beautiful relationship. But frickin' Dylan is like so hung up and is self-sabotaging. You can see Kenzie get the ick when he's just talking. And me too. Me too. No. So Dylan and Kenzie's roller coaster ride continued. Dylan spent most of the episode complaining and holding Kenzie's past behavior against her. In a wild pivot, right after a massive argument where Kenzie was visibly shut down, Dylan actually asked her if they should make their case to everyone else going to the hideaway. And she was like, no. She just goes on her phone. And it's hilarious because that's not a phone that's connected to like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Like it's a phone where they can take photos. Like, what was she doing? It's so funny. It was like a natural instinct to be like, no, and then look at the phone. I was dying. That was like a moment where everyone else saw what I have been seeing. Like, Dylan is so annoying. Literally so annoying. Okay. And then last, Trinity and Bryce, while everyone was fighting over labels, Bryce and Trinity were locked in and they were so cute this past episode. Bryce won massive points with the viewers by talking about how much he loves cooking for and taking care of Trinity, giving her the absolute princess treatment. A lot of these boys are like out here complaining, like Zach. Like, I think he made a comment that he was excited the girls were gone. Something about breakfast. Maybe he could make himself breakfast, but like, ugh. It's like painful at this point. Like, we've gotten to know these people like a little too much because I'm starting to like hate them. These episodes have been boring. They really have. The next episode is the family day. But I'm thinking in my mind, like, so that's Thursday's episode. Like, what is the point? Okay, so we're getting family day, and we're all hoping that Melanie's family is going to say to her, like, Sincere is bad. Don't be with him. But whatever, right? Because then there's the finale. So maybe family night, we vote a couple off or two, and then there's Friday, and then there's Sunday, which is the finale. So it's like, there's no point. It's kind of like Zach's exclusive argument, like with Bryce talking to Zach. Like, you didn't need to say you were exclusive with Kata because everyone, it's the end. It's the finale week. Like, everyone kind of gets that at this point because we're all not going for each other's person. So either you do nothing or you say, you're my girlfriend. I have to go pick up my husband from work, so I have to end this early. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love Island tomorrow night. I'll be recapping it. I absolutely will. But I hope you guys love this episode. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, comment, download the episode. That'd be helpful everywhere that you can find your podcast, Spotify, Apple, YouTube for video, and share with your friends. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.